Have you ever noticed how procrastination doesn't feel careless? It feels heavy. You think about the task. You know it matters. You even want the outcome. And yet when it's time to begin, something inside resists. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just quietly. You might scroll for a few minutes. Tidy something unimportant. Tell yourself you'll start when you feel more ready. And later, there's frustration. Maybe even guilt. But what if procrastination isn't a flaw in your character? What if it's information? Today, we're not going to shame procrastination. We're going to understand it. Because once something makes sense, it becomes easier to change. And by the end of this video, you won't just see procrastination differently. You'll know exactly how to move through it in a way that feels calm, steady, and realistic. One of the most important things to understand is this. Procrastination is rarely about time. Research from Timothy Pychyl suggests that procrastination is more about managing emotions than managing schedules. When a task triggers discomfort, even subtle discomfort, the brain seeks relief. That discomfort might be uncertainty about how to begin, pressure to do it perfectly, fear of not doing it well, feeling overwhelmed by its size. The brain is wired to move away from discomfort. So instead of starting the task, it chooses something easier emotionally. It's not that the task is impossible. It's that it feels uncomfortable in the moment. And the brain prefers short-term emotional relief over long-term reward. When you understand that procrastination is an emotional response, something shifts. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" you begin asking, "What feels uncomfortable about this?" That question alone changes everything. Procrastination often has deeper roots than we realize. One common trigger is perfectionism. If the standard in your mind is extremely high, starting feels risky. Because once you begin, your work becomes visible, even to yourself. Another trigger is lack of clarity. The brain struggles with vague instructions. Work on project feels heavy, but write the introduction paragraph feels actionable. The more unclear something is, the more resistance it creates. Energy also plays a role. Research by Roy Baumeister shows that self-control depends on mental energy. When you're mentally drained, even simple tasks feel larger than they are. Sometimes procrastination isn't avoidance. It's exhaustion, and recognizing the difference matters. Because the solution to fear is different from the solution to fatigue. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is this. Lower the starting point. Not the goal, the starting point. Big tasks activate big resistance. Small actions feel manageable. Instead of telling yourself, "I need to finish everything today," try, "I'll just open the file." Instead of, "I need to work out intensely," try, "I'll stretch for 5 minutes." This works because action reduces anxiety. When something lives only in your head, it feels larger. Once you begin, the unknown becomes concrete. Momentum builds naturally, not through force but through movement. Often, the hardest part of any task is the emotional weight before starting. Reduce the weight, and starting becomes possible. Many people respond to procrastination with frustration. They tell themselves they should be more disciplined, more focused, more productive. But criticism increases stress, and stress increases avoidance. A more effective response is curiosity. When you notice procrastination, pause and ask, "What do I need right now to make this easier?" Do you need clarity? Rest? A smaller step? A different environment? Sometimes moving your phone away is enough. Sometimes writing a messy first draft removes the pressure. Sometimes resting for 20 minutes restores enough energy to begin properly. Procrastination is not a sign that you lack ability. It's a signal that something needs adjustment. When you respond with strategy instead of judgment, progress becomes sustainable. Procrastination isn't about laziness. It's about emotion, clarity, and energy. And when you understand those three things, you don't fight yourself anymore. You work with yourself. And that changes everything.